Hey guys, welcome to this Kettlebell 101. I want to go through a few basic kettlebell exercises which you see in our classes regularly. So it's really important to teach you these basics first before you step into the more complex exercises. I want to go through the deadlift, the kettlebell swing, kettlebell clean, and a kettlebell press to you today. If you have these four exercises, you can make a million combinations. You can start combining these exercises and you will end up with a full body workout. The first one is the deadlift. What's important to know with the deadlift is that it's a hip dominant exercise. So there's one joint in our body which we're going to target the most, and that's all the muscles around our hip. If you look at me from the side, when I'm doing a deadlift, I'm going to hinge forward, bending at my hips, and I keep my knees slightly bent. But it's important to notice that I'm not squatting down, so I'm not bending my knees as much as with a normal squat or with a lunge. The other thing which is really important, and that's my spine stays in this neutral position. When I'm standing tall, I have a slight arch in my lower back, and when I come forward, nothing changed in my spine. So from my tailbone till the top of my head, it's still a straight line. And then when you come up, I'm going to think about pushing my hips forward and coming back to standing. What we're going to teach first is how to lock this upper body, how to lock your upper body in position. It starts with the shoulder blades. If you bring your shoulder blades together and bring your shoulders down, so away from the ears, will help locking your upper body in position, your thoracic spine. And when you think about pushing your ribs down or in, this will brace your core and this will lock your lower back in position. If you have a kettlebell, make sure it's not too light. There's a simple test. If you grab your kettlebell and you're able to hold it in front of you without too much effort, it's way too light. So make sure you get a kettlebell which is heavy enough, and when I start pushing it forward, I can't even get to shoulder height, then you know you have the right weight. So get your kettlebell, squeeze your shoulder blades together, push your ribs down. Those two steps are important with every single kettlebell exercise. Then you're going to set up with your feet shoulder width apart, soften up your knees, and think about pulling back your hips. Just start pulling back your hips, pull, 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 until you feel a stretch in your hamstring, and you're going to push your hips forward until you're all the way back to standing. Soften up your hips, soften up your knees, pull back your hips, keep your core engaged, and push forward. Go for 5 more reps. Soften up your knees, soften up your hips, pull back, and stand tall. Make sure you're not squatting. Keep your chest up, keep your core engaged, and push up. Keep on going, and push forward. Up, 2 more. Up, and control down, and push up. Alright, drop your kettlebell and catch your breath. There are 2 common mistakes which I see over and over again when people are trying to do a deadlift for the first time. The first one is they think about going forward and then they start rounding their spine. They let go of the tension in between the shoulder blades and they start curling down instead of bending from the hips. To prevent that, think about the steps I just showed you with your shoulder blades squeeze together and away from the ears, and keep your core braced. The second common mistake I see is bending the knees. So instead of going down from the hips, they start squatting down. They tend to keep their upper body vertical, they tend to look forward, and they squat down instead of using their hips. To prevent that, start with softening up your knees and don't move your shins anymore. So don't let your knees drive forward or to the outside. Think about pulling back your hips. Pull, 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 pull until you feel a stretch, and then you push forward. Alright, grab your kettlebell and let's practice 8 more reps in total. So first, pick up your kettlebell, lock your shoulder blades in position, look straight forward, core is engaged, And now we soften up the knees, pull back the hips. 1. Soften up the knees, up. 2. Go down, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your butt on your way up to push your hips forward. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, really good.